Welcome. My name is Melissa Miller, and it is my honor to serve as the 2021 president for the Kansas City Sister Cities Association. In the heart of Kansas City, Missouri, spanning Brush Creek on the Country Club Plaza, stands the Sister Cities International Bridge. Dedicated in 2000, the bridge is home to the national flags of Kansas City's 13 sister cities, from Seville, Spain since 1967 to Yan'an, China since 2017. 2021 marks the 65th anniversary of the Sister Cities program and offers a timely opportunity to explore the active business, cultural, and educational links that reinforce Kansas City's vibrant international identity. In that first year, 1956, President Eisenhower partnered with civic leaders such as Kansas City's own Joyce Hall to create people-to-people and sister city affiliations around the world to help build the solid structure for world peace. The Sister City Association of Kansas City coordinates relationships between Kansas City and its 13 sisters on 4 continents. Through its individual sister city committees, the association pursues its mission of promoting peace through mutual respect, understanding, and cooperation. With decades of educational, cultural, and commercial exchanges, the Sister Cities Association celebrates Kansas City's status as a global city. We invite you to get involved with the Sister Cities Association at kcsistercities.org. There, you can learn more about our individual sister city relationships, as well as upcoming events and how to join as a member. The Sister Cities Association of Kansas City is proud to partner with the International Relations Council in Kansas City to bring our community this virtual series of monthly conversations with representatives from Kansas City's sister cities to get to know these communities that bridge Kansas City with the world. Please enjoy and don't hesitate to reach out with any questions or your interest to get involved. We'll see you soon.
Hello, I am Jane Drury and am the chair of the Kurashiki Committee. The Kurashiki Committee is affiliated with the Heart of America Japan-America Society, or HAJAS. We have had a long and delightful history of student and adult exchanges with our sister city, Kurashiki, Japan. The relationship between Kurashiki and Kansas City, Missouri was established in 1972. So we will be observing the 50th year anniversary in 2022. In the summers, we have had continuing student exchanges from both directions. Mio Wagner was a big proponent and motivator to see that these exchanges took place. We have also had many adult groups visit Kansas City or Kurashiki, often for anniversaries. For example, Bobby Watson and the UMKC Jazz Band played and gave workshops in Kurashiki in 2010. An adult group celebrated the 40th anniversary in 2012 by visiting the alternate cities. Not only have there been exchanges, there have been gifts. Kurashiki gave us 25 cherry trees for the 25th anniversary in 1997, and Kansas City returned the favor by giving 25 dogwood trees. Kurashiki artists designed a mural with Kurashiki landmarks that was dedicated in 2000 at Bartle Hall, and you will hear about the Japanese tea room and garden in Luce Park. We will hear from Mayor Ito of Kurashiki next. Then we will hear stories about the history and the student exchanges.
Hello, friends in Kansas City. I am Kaori Ito, Mayor of Kurashiki, your sister city in Japan. It's almost half a century since we started our sister city relations in 1972. First of all, I'd like to express my greatest thanks to the many people who have been involved in this very important exchange. It has led to and deepened the friendship between our 2 cities and 2 countries. For 50 years, we have continued citizen-to-citizen, face-to-face activities. These include many high school student exchanges, English teacher training programs, and international programs for city office staff, as well as many cultural exchanges. In total, more than 1,000 people have participated in this program. and precious memories of Kansas City and Kurashiki City remain in the hearts of both sides. Every year, I receive postcards from our students on homestays in Kansas City. From reading their messages, I can see how, for the first time in their lives, they discover a different culture with different values. They grow, learn from, and enjoy these new adventures very much. In particular, they come to know the American spirit of volunteerism from their host families. In later years, many of them go on to volunteer as host families themselves. Through sister city exchanges, we enrich each other's cultures and contribute to the deepening of US-Japan relations. Currently, we cannot have any actual exchanges due to the coronavirus pandemic. However, we do hope this program continues through the cooperation and goodwill of us all. Next year, we will celebrate our sister city 50th anniversary. When you come to Kurashiki, I promise I will guide you through our beautiful historical area, the Bikan area, and also I will show you the wonderful scenery of the Sato Inland Sea, the first national park in Japan. I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.
With me today are several people who have been engaged with the Kurashiki sister city relationship for many years. Marshall Miller is president of the Miller & Company law firm and was involved right in the beginning along with these others. He has lent his support and guiding hand to the many events related to Kurashiki over the years. Marshall, can you tell us how this all started?
In 1971, Kansas City and a group of people at the Chamber of Commerce, very well-known civic leaders, Henry Block and Don Hall and Charles Kimball, decided that they would get me directly engaged in helping them expand Kansas City to international business and in particular to focus on Japan. The decision was made Japan first because there was a great deal of interest in the community about Japan, but frankly, almost no contacts with Japanese business or government. In 1971, there was a reception that was set up with the Japan American Society, the Chamber of Commerce, and other groups at the Nelson Art Gallery. There were 350 people that attended, and the primary speaker was the Japanese ambassador to the United States, Nobuhiko Ushiba. Sachi Stroder was there as vice president of the Japan American Society. So Sachi, why don't you describe that very first beginning of the Japan government and business and people relationship with Kansas City?
So he was able to invite Ambassador Ushiba to Kansas City. And while he was there, we began to talk about sponsoring a trade week in connection with the sister city ceremony. So that's when the trade week plan was started, and then the theme was the focus on Japan, and which was held in May of 1972 in conjunction with the signing of the sister city.
So the idea here was that it began on the business side, moved quickly to the Japan American Society. The focus was a World Trade Week. The city had never had a World Trade Week focused on a city before. After that, there were others, and that was with the International Trade Council. In order to put these pieces together, we began working with the Japanese embassy in Washington, the consulate in Chicago, and the Japan External Trade Organization, a man named Mr. Ted Kusajima. And he traveled here frequently And one of the first things we determined was, how do we pick a sister city? The standards were that the cities had to be relatively comparable in some multiple ways. So the size of Kansas City, Missouri was about the same size as Kurashiki. Kurashiki was well known as a very beautiful city, so was Kansas City. Kurashiki was in the middle of an agricultural area, so was Kansas City, well known not only for agribusiness generally, but the beef industry, farm machinery, a wide range of agricultural related matters. The reception at the Nelson Gallery exposed our Oriental art collection, which is well known throughout the United States. The Kurashiki had the Ohara Art Museum, well known as the first art museum in Japan that had Western art that was purchased by a very well-known and wealthy Japanese artist who built his museum in Kurashiki. Finally, the motor vehicle industry, we had Ford and General Motors in Kansas City. Mitsubishi had a plant not far from Kurashiki. So with those, it became logical that it would make sense. And we put together a trade mission to Japan, flew into Tokyo with a small group of people, and then a smaller group split off, myself, James Burke, his wife, and we met in Tokyo, our translator, who later moved to Kansas City, Terry Kipper. And Terry was there at the beginning when we made the first trip to Kurashiki to meet with the mayor and the other members of the city to discuss and talk about the potential of setting up a sister city relationship. Terry, can you describe a little of what you remember when you were there many years ago?
That's too many years ago, but that's fine. But we got on express train and went to Kurashiki and stayed over and looked at a few museums and all the areas. And we enjoyed it and had a meeting with mayor and his assistants and all these people. Then we come back to Tokyo. Now they are getting into other business. So they made an appointment with trading companies and all other businesses in Tokyo area. And also they were invited to attend International Trade Fair in Osaka, not Tokyo. I helped to get the group business people together in Tokyo and Osaka and send them over here. And at the same time, James Burke, Michael Burke's father, want to entertain these people. So we could just bring all the Japanese business people. And even the group of the people had made a trip already without not visiting Kansas City, which I went to Osaka and asked them to stop by in Kansas City. They said, well, we cannot do that. But well, I'm here from Tokyo. Can't you just do something? Doesn't mean anything to you. And they did, changed. And they sent a whole group of people. They have been looking for auto industry sites.
The concept then was that the business meetings occurred. The state of Missouri later decided in the next year to set up a business office in Tokyo. And the relationships of Japanese companies interested not only in investing in the U.S., but doing business with U.S. companies, and Kansas City and Missouri companies doing the reverse, began there in early 1972. We then had World Trade Week, and as Terry said, we had over 70 people. We have pictures of the mayor and a small delegation in Luce Park that signed the original agreement, and that's fundamentally how this all began.
Here today is Fran Lemery, who has been president of HAJAS for 9 years at various times and has led groups to Kurashiki and planned and participated in many events for Kurashiki visitors to Kansas City. Fran, can you tell us about some of the events?
Sure. Thank you very much, Jane. The sister city relationship between Kurashiki and Kansas City has been a very, very special one for for these types of relationships throughout the United States. At almost every 5th anniversary, Kurashiki City does something very, very special for Kansas City. For the 25th anniversary, they donated 25 cherry trees, Japanese cherry trees, which are in the south end of Loose Park. For the 30th anniversary, they started talking. I was president then, so they started talking to me a couple years before the 30th anniversary about wanting to donate money from the government and citizens of Kurashiki to build a tea room at Loose Park or somewhere in the city. From this end, we began working on the project with the Kansas City Parks and Rec. Neil Wagner, one of the original founders of our Heart of America, Japan America Society, started funds and getting donated money to help with the tea room. And the tea room was finally finished in 2006. The 30th anniversary was 2002, but by the time everything was put in place, the tea room was built and the Japanese garden was added to the tea room at Loose Park. There was a huge delegation from Kurashiki, which included Mayor Kenzo Furiichi, who started the project. It was on July 10th of 2006, had a big dedication ceremony at Loose Park, and what resulted was a premier location in Kansas City that represents the Japanese people and our sister city of Kurashiki. Not to be outdone, for the 35th anniversary, Mayor Kenzo Furiichi came to Kansas City a few years before the 35th anniversary and wanted to talk to Kansas City Mayor Kay Barnes, and said that he wanted to bring 500 people for a Kurashiki Week event to celebrate the 35th anniversary. Those of us locally, and even Mayor Barnes, questioned 500. But what really happened in July of 2007, about 480 citizens flew into Kansas City on a jumbo jet and were put up in beds at the UMKC dormitories because the college was closed in the summer. They brought over 100 musicians, a young junior baseball team of about 30 with managers, people who wanted to study and learn English, just people that wanted to enjoy Kansas City. And so we had a week long of events for Kurashiki Week. The planning in advance took about 2 years in coordination with the city of Kurashiki, but it's probably one of the largest sister city visits that has ever occurred in the United States. Went to a baseball game at Royal Stadium, went to World's Fun with the kids, went to Starlight Theater, see Wizard of Oz, had dinners, barbecue, and events throughout Kansas City. And the citizens from Kurashiki ranged from age 8 to age 80. So it was a very, very special Kurashiki Week event. So Jane, all of these other 5th anniversary stories have a lot behind them also, but those are the two key ones. So thank you.
That was great information about the many connections there have been between Kansas City and Kurashiki. I like to think about how many young people there are in Kurashiki, and maybe not so young now, who have fond memories of their visit to Kansas City and might come back for another stay or for business opportunities. When we have student exchanges in the summers, there are opportunities to be a host family or to meet the visiting students. If you are interested and want to know more about our programs, see the website for HAJAS at kcjas.org or kcsistercities.org for more general information about the Sister Cities Organization for Kansas City. Now you will hear from Haruko Shukla, who has for several years been in charge of the youth exchange program, planning the visits from Kurashiki students.
Hello, I am Haruko Shukla, a committee chair of Youth Goodwill Delegation Program. In 2022, we will celebrate the 50th anniversary of the sister city relationship between Kurashiki and Kansas City. Although for 2022 and 2021, we had to cancel the student exchange programs due to COVID, there were so many students who visited Kurashiki and Kansas City. There are so many adult delegations between two cities until now. There are also so many people who made these programs happen behind the scene. In Kansas City, Heart of America, Japan-America Society has been contributing to make this program continue. They are all volunteers and support the program as a committee, host family, parents, or good citizens. I myself was a parent of a 2005 student ambassador to Kurashiki and also hosted students and a leader from Kurashiki from time to time. It was a wonderful experience to be a part of it. In Kurashiki, we are very fortunate that Kurashiki City International Affairs section has been a driver of the program and has continued the relationship up to now. We sincerely thank Mayor Ito for her support. I would like to introduce some of these people from both cities in the following video interviews. They represent students, student leaders, host families, committees, parents, and good citizens. It is really amazing to see that so many people in both Kansas City and Kurashiki were involved in the sister city relationship. We look forward to our 50th anniversary next year, and I hope you too will be a part of it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jim Kanki, and I'm the Honorary Consul of Japan in Kansas City. I'm also a member of the Heart of America, Japan-America Society. And one of the things I enjoy most about our sister city relationship with Kurashiki is being a member of the committee that greets the student delegation upon their arrival. We're the first Americans that they meet, and we spend the first 3 or 4 days as a group introducing them to the Kansas City area. I particularly enjoy watching them when they visit one of our high schools. They're in awe at the size, but they feel more at home when they enter a classroom and see things that they recognize in their own classrooms, such as math equations, the periodic table, art, and music. Or visit a working farm and experience the sights and smells of 500 pigs, or going out in the field and picking and tasting an ear of sweet corn. Putting on their school uniforms to visit City Hall and meet with the mayor makes for a very special occasion. Then we introduce them to the first of 2 host families who will show them what family life is like here in the Midwest. Lasting memories and friendships are what this program is all about. We're extremely fortunate to have such a strong relationship with our sister city, Kurashiki, and look forward to our visit in 2022 when we will celebrate 50 years of sister city relationships.
Hello, my name is Lydia Kanki. My family and I started out as a host family in the 1990s. We enjoyed showing our guests around Kansas City, and our daughter Jamie became more interested in her own heritage. In 2003, she traveled to Kurashiki as a student ambassador. We were pleased by this life-changing experience. She returned to Kansas City, excited to become a JET, Japan Exchange and Teaching Program, and she taught English in Nimi near Kurashiki for 2 years. She made lifelong friends there and still communicates with them today. When we retired and could spend more time helping, we were able to enjoy time with students visiting from Kurashiki. We drove them to meet the mayor of Kansas City, visit a high school, a farm, enjoyed a picnic at the lake, and the Worlds of Fun amusement parks. We attended a Royals baseball game and even got to attend a soccer match between the United States and Japan's women's Olympic team. We were delighted to watch the students become more confident in their English and enjoy their experiences while at the same time sharing their lifestyle with us.
My family and I have had a lot of wonderful experiences because of our involvement with our sister city, Kurashiki. It started in 2007 with our daughter, Olivia, who was a student ambassador. She went to Kurashiki and stayed with 2 host families for about 3 weeks. During that time, she improved her language skills, learned more about Japanese culture, and developed some great friendships. While Olivia was in Kurashiki, my husband Mickey and I chose to volunteer for a delegation of 500 Kurashiki citizens who were here for the 35th anniversary of our sister city relationship. It was a lot of fun. We got to meet a lot of people and do a lot of great things and learn even more about our sister city and the people who lived in Kurashiki. Because of that, we started volunteering in a number of capacities, including the Student Ambassador Committee. So Olivia had such a great experience that I wanted to help other students from the Kansas City area go to Kurashiki, and I've been doing that ever since, either as co-chair or chair. And it's wonderful because I get to communicate a lot with the folks in the International Affairs section, and then have even gone to Kurashiki for our 40th anniversary and got to meet many of the people that I've communicated with throughout the years. So we've learned a lot, all of us, but I think one of the key things I've learned is how strong our sister city relationship is through all of these delegations with the students and with the adults, and how in just a short time you can develop lifelong friendships. It has been a true joy to be able to prepare the students that we send through the Student Ambassador Program and help them fulfill their dream of going to Japan. Those lifelong friendships will mean everything to them, and we get to see them grow and change, and life is never the same after that. I wanted to thank the people in Kurashiki, particularly Mayor Ito, who has been an incredible supporter of this program, the International Affairs section, and all the citizens in Kurashiki who have come here or supported our students or us when we've gone to visit. It has just been a wonderful relationship, one that I look forward to continuing. I miss you, and I look forward to seeing you in the future.
I'm Tim Wagner, and my family became involved with the Kurashiki Sister City program in the mid-70s when the Sister City program asked the JAS for help in finding host families. I was in high school at the time, and my parents, Lloyd and Mia Wagner, decided that my family would help. So we became a host family. We participated in the group activities like museum visits, the Royals games, and Worlds of Fun. And we also helped the adult Kurashiki groups that came in later years, and we also participated in several JAS delegations to Kurashiki, notably the Kansas City delegation to the Sato Ohashi Expo in 1988. My mother was teaching Japanese at the time at the Plaza Library and to children, and also in college. And I know many of the early student ambassadors were students of hers. My mother and I and other JAS members joined the Sister City Association Kurashiki Committee, which began the current relationship that JAS has with Kurashiki. JAS and Kurashiki and the Kurashiki Committee also planned the 25th anniversary cherry tree project and the Kurashiki mural on Bartle Hall. It does not surprise me that next year will be our 50th anniversary. Many of us continue to help year after year, and we stay in contact with those who we have met through these exchanges. It's a great program. It's very worthwhile. Many student group members return as group leaders. Like my family, there are other families where multiple family members have participated in Sister City activities. There was even a Kurashiki delegation where most of the members had not been to Kansas City before, but their child had, or they hosted a student from here. I believe that this program will continue for many more years to come.
Konnichiwa, Irene Gatimi to moishimasu. Hello, my name is Irene Gatimi. When I was in high school, I went to Olathe North High School, and I'm currently a second-year student at FAU Wilkes Honors College studying International Studies and Economics. I was a student ambassador in 2017 and a host family in 2016 and 2018. I loved being a student ambassador because it provided for an opportunity of a full Japanese cultural experience. I think Kurashiki is a gorgeous city. I got to go to the city hall and meet Mayor Ito and exchange gifts. I loved going to the shrines and the temples and Bikanshiku, where I got to experience my first summer festival in Yukata. I felt welcome the whole time I was in Kurashiki, and when I was leaving, I knew I had people to return to. I'm glad I went to Japan as a student ambassador because I cannot imagine a better introduction. I loved being a host family because I think it's a genuinely fun experience. I get to show Kurashiki students what it's like in America while getting to learn more about them and Japan. Being a host family is a great cultural exchange that has provided me lifelong friends. People of Kurashiki, you're all lovely and kind. I love Kurashiki, so thank you for welcoming me into your city when you did. There will always be a special place in my heart for all of you, and I look forward to a time in which we can meet again when time lends itself. Thank you. 本当にありがとうございました.
Welcome to the students of Kurashiki from Lake Quivira, Kansas.
We first entertained Japanese students here in the 90s when our sons were in international school. After they graduated in 96 and 97, we didn't have any Japanese visitors for a short time.
But in 2001, we hosted a student from Kurashiki, Japan. And during that time, we realized that we had a unique activity here at Lake Quivira that could entertain the entire group, not just simply one student, and that was the lake.
We began hosting an afternoon at the lake, complete with American snacks, salty and sweet, and a picnic dinner on the dock. Our menus evolved over the last 18 years, and we learned never to serve corn on the cob. And also, our favorite every year was the dessert of mixed berries and brownies.
The lake activities gave the students an opportunity to immerse themselves in Americana, not just simply observe it. Once they jumped in the lake, they went water skiing, they played on the lily pad, they played ball in the water. They took a boat ride through the back canals of Lake Quivira. They began to experience what we can experience every summer. This has been the highlight of our summer, each and every summer they have visited.
We're hoping someday, soon, to visit Kurashiki and perhaps see some of the students that we have seen in the lake.
Thank you.
Hello, this is Otohei Ueno. I'm working at the Kurashiki Handicap School now. And I worked for the international exchange programs as a staff member of Kurashiki City for 20 years, from 1973 to 1998. I was concerned sister city relations between Kansas City and Kurashiki. I visited Kansas City 3 times. And my most impression about Kansas City was when I visit Kansas City in 1978. At that time, I led the Student Good Ambassadors. I had an opportunity to speak to the meeting of Kansas City City Council. I talked about sister city relations, exchange affairs between Kansas City and Kurashiki. This is the most valuable memory for me. Message to the people of Kansas City. It is most difficult and sad time for us now by appearance of COVID-19 disease. We can't exchange each other at all now. However, I'm sure we are able to visit and meet each other soon. At the time we can meet. See you again.
こんにちは。現在の国際課長をしております中桐典子と言います。日本は学校やビジネスは4月に始まって3月に終わりますので、今ちょうど国際館に来て3年目が終わろうとしているところです。まだカンザスシティに伺ったことはありません。 先輩たちが築いてこられた長い交流のプログラムが今ちょっと中止になっておりますけれども、これをまた今までと変わらない親密さと熱意で再開することが今の国際課のメンバーの仕事だなと思っております。歴史ある倉敷の町に皆様もぜひお越しください。精一杯のおもてなしでお待ちしております。
Hi, my name is Tomomi Ueno. I visited Kansas City as a leader of Kurashiki Youth Goodwill Mission in 2017 with 7 students. About homestay, we experienced a bit of American life and the things only we could do with those families spending time together. My host families introduced me lots of food and culture which were very new to me, and they gave me some advice how to live life and lots of wise words too. I spent such a great time with them, so it was really hard to say goodbye to them. As a leader, I was under a lot of pressure at first. I took 7 high school students with me, and most of them had never been abroad before, and I wanted this visit to be a really good experience for them. When we arrived at Kansas City Airport, it was really late at night, but there were people welcoming us, and that made me so relieved. During our stay, everyone always supported us with such a kindness and big heart, so I could enjoy this visit fully and without too much worrying. As for the most impressive event, every moment was really precious for me, but I was so moved by everyone's kindness at the farewell party. And I remember practicing and singing American national anthem at the party, and that was fun too. I'd like to thank everyone in Kansas City for making our visit happen and successful. I like everyone I met in Kansas City so much, and I'm grateful what they've done for us. I'd like to see everyone again sometime, maybe in America or in Japan. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Meikikta. My high school was Amaki High School in Kurashiki City. Right now, I'm living in Aichi Prefecture and studying English and Chinese in Nanzai University. I went to Kansas City in 2017 as a youth delegation. I treasure every moment I had in Kansas City. I especially like people watching baseball games and eating burgers there. My host families were kind and they gave me the opportunity to visit many places like Country Club Plaza and Nelson Atkins Museum of Art. I made lunch with my host mother and we ate the lunch under a tree at the museum. Also, I already mentioned I got to go watch a baseball game. At the time, the Royals won the game, so we were so excited. I also can't forget the taste of Winstead Burger. Overall, everything I saw in the Kansas City was amazing. I'm very appreciative of the people in Kansas City because the time I spent with them changed my life. To be honest, I wasn't interested in English before visiting Kansas City, but encounter with the people in Kansas City made me start to study English hard. Since then, my English skills have improved a lot, and at my university, I've been able to become friends with international students, and I've enjoyed chatting with them. If I didn't meet the people in Kansas City, I wouldn't have become interested in English, and I probably wouldn't have any friends from other countries. It is not too much to say that the people in Kansas City have changed my life. Kansas City is the best city, so I want to go there again and see you. I hope you stay healthy and happy. Thank you and goodbye.
Hello. During my stay in Kansas City, lots of people took care of me. I'm grateful to my host families, Tamiko, Steve, Robert, and Stella. Thank you very much. Steve is very familiar with Japanese culture and often played shogi. Also, I was very impressed to listen to the jazz performance there. Robert was an architect and very dexterous and very good at cooking and magic tricks. When I visited the city hall with my students, I presented a replica of the paintings displayed at the Otohei Museum of Art as a souvenir of Kurashiki. They are very pleased and will be able to decorate the room. For the students, it will be remembered for a lifetime. I hope that the exchange between Kurashiki and Kansas City will continue forever. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Ikue Sato. About 40 years ago, I've been to Kansas City as homestay. It was my first overseas experience. The most impressed event was visiting elementary school and going to Kansas City Royals Stadium. The people of Kansas City are very friendly. I love Kansas City. I look forward to meeting again. Thank you.
Hello everyone. We are the Shibakawa family living in Kurashiki City. We accepted a host family from Kansas City in 2005. We had very valuable and wonderful experiences with host families, and they were very good memories. Even now, we still keep in touch. This makes me happy. Especially, we enjoyed Japanese culture, like singing old traditional Japanese songs and doing calligraphy. We also enjoyed summer activities, like going to summer festivals and to the beach together. Our guests also enjoyed Japanese food like sushi and a Japanese pancake we call okonomiyaki. Please come to Japan to eat it. The first time we had homestay was in 2005. I had just given birth to my son. Now he is a high school student. My second son is 14 years old. My daughter is 12 years old. My last child is 11 years old. We become a big family and also have a host family in Kansas City too.
We would be happy to accept a host family from Kansas City anytime.
There are also many nice tourist spots in Kurashiki City like Beacon area and Seto Ohashi.
Please come to visit Kurashiki City and make new host family here.
We are waiting.
Bye.
カンザスシティの皆さん、お元気ですか？
Hi, my name is Mayu.
キミカ。私たちは今大学4年生ですカンザスシティには2017年に訪問しました。
ミズーリ大学では講義を受けたり、カンザスシティの幼稚園を訪問したりしました。幼稚園では壁に家族写真が飾られていたり、保育室にソファーが置いてあったりして、日本とは異なる保育環境に刺激を受けました。
休日はカンザスシティにある市場に行ったり、美術館に行ったりしてアメリカの文化に触れることができました。一番印象に残っているのは食文化です。みんなでこんなに大きなピザを食べたり、こんなに大きなチョコレートドリンクを飲んだりしました。ケーキやクッキーも日本のと比べるとすごく大きくって、あとカラフルなものが多かったので、食事の時間がとても楽しく過ごすことができました。
また日本庭園を訪れたことも印象に残っています。桜を見たり、倉敷の壁を見たりして、カンザスシティと倉敷市とのつながりの強さを感じました。
このインタビューを受けて、カンザスシティで過ごした楽しい日々をたくさん思い出すことができました。
またカンザスシティに遊びに行きたいと思っています。
バイバイ。